Good day and welcome to my channel Stabilife Bart BKA. Today we're having a new video, and this video is about all the things I would have liked to know before I had my leg amputated. My amputation was on the 28th of October 2019, and a lot of things didn't work out quite as we expected before the amputation. So let us start. First of all, do not underestimate it. I kind of did, and the reason could be that I'm quite an opportunistic person, and I always try to look at the positive side of things, but especially without my new prosthetic leg, there are not a lot of positive things to say about an amputation. I mean, I'm really happy. I am. But when on the 28th of October, I was under the impression that I would be up and running again within 3 to 4 months. And well, as told before, we're now living in June and I can't do anything yet. So that kind of is a bummer. I mean, I had another infection around Christmas. It took 2 months to heal. And when that was healed, we went in lockdown. So everything was postponed again. And I know that going in lockdown does not happen on a yearly basis, but still I can imagine that there is always something setting you back. And to be honest, think about it. If you have the opportunity, think about it long and hard. And all the people who come to you with negative advice, take it seriously, because I know I didn't. I only wanted to see the upside. And at this moment I have a lot of negative times. I have a lot of breakdowns, and mostly I'm optimistic. I'm happy in my life. But when I have a breakdown, I'm completely without energy. I want to lay in bed all day long with the bed cover over my head and not seeing anybody. According to my family, I'm kind of grumpy then. Can't imagine anything with that, but please listen to everybody. Secondly, everybody involved, from the doctors to the family, from the nurses to the orthopedic, they're not against you, they're here for you. The reason I say this is because after the surgery I was very mad at everybody, especially in the month when I was still in the hospital. I was very mad, well, generally with everybody. I thought everybody was taking too much time to help me go further. And this continued after my dismissal. I blamed them that it was the Christmas holidays. I blamed them that it was all taking too long when I had an appointment. I blamed them that they postponed a new appointment too far away. I blamed them for the luck. I blamed them for everything. Mostly all of this was because I felt helpless, and I refused to see that time was my best friend. So the more time they used, the better friend time would be for me. And so yeah, take it easy, accept again the way things go to you. The next one is an extension of the prior one. There are no limits. Whenever they tell you a time limit, take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, I had the accident in March 2019. At this moment it's June 2020 and I still don't have my prosthetic leg. And I learned one thing. A lot of things happened in between, a lot of surgery, etc. But things are due when they are due. And so if they tell you, well, they told me, for instance, as soon as my leg was amputated, that I will be walking again on a prosthetic leg around Christmas 2019. Everything keeps on being postponed. I know that the body is not a machine, and it goes its own way, and it acts the way it wants to be, but I'm a patient, I'm not a professional, and it would have been nice if the professionals would have known that too, and maybe had hidden their enthusiasm sometimes a little bit more. The next one could be only applicable for Spain, but in Spain you have no support whatsoever. You get no support from the hospital, nothing from other organizations, nor mental, nor physical, nada. You have to find out everything for yourself, and psychological help is not even offered, and to be honest, that's a big bummer. Because to be honest, in Spain you pay a lot of taxes, and as on top of that you pay a lot of extra for your private insurance. And there's nobody, and I mean nobody, no institute knows nothing, who's the spider in your medical web and guides you. And the funny thing is, when you point this out to the professionals in the business, they say, yeah, you're right, and they go their merry way. So that's something me and my family really would have loved to know, so we could be a little bit better prepared. And now a very, well, funny would have liked to know is that you experience a lot of new feelings, as well as physical, mental, a completely new world opened up for me. After walking this planet for 45 years, I figured out I knew my body and mind pretty well, but as it turns out, I did not. First, physically. Well, that's just a small example. Imagine that your calf is all of a sudden under your amputated leg. And so that means that everything that happens under your new leg is felt in your calf. But your calf is still there too. And so, well, it's not a big, huge, major world-threatening problem, but that's something I wish I had known, because it was really another feeling in my body that I had to get used to. Secondly, there are the ghost pains, and they're very, very annoying. I always thought I had a strong mind and that I could do everything with my mind, and I tried everything I could do to get the ghost pains away, but nothing really helps. I got medication, but it just brings it a little bit to the background, but it doesn't go away. And well, the doctor who's responsible for my file says that as soon as I have my prosthetic leg, the ghost pains will go away, but I think we're still waiting for that leg. And we just discussed also the enthusiasm of the doctors here. So, and then the mental feelings. Oh my, did I get to learn to know myself again. I was always very happy, and as stated before, very opportunistic. And now I'm not. First, emotions. Now, I was never really strong in the emotion department. But for instance, I could never cry at the closing scene of the Titanic. Now I can cry when I see a glass of water with ice cubes. And then there's trusting people. That's really a big issue, because I don't trust anybody anymore. First of all, because in the hospital, every time somebody came to me, they came to hurt me. And I know, don't get me wrong, it was for my own good. But either they were pinching a needle in me, they were putting an infusion in me, I had to go to surgery, so they put a knife in me. And as I told you, I know it's all for my own good, but I really have a trust issue now. And it got a little bit better since I came home, but hey, still don't touch me without me knowing it. And that's just a physical trust issue. Mentally, it's even worse. I don't trust anybody anymore. As soon as somebody, and especially in the medical industry, makes a promise to me, I don't believe them. Or at least I expect it to be much less than they promised me. And so remember that all your feelings change completely. I used to be a libertarian, and I still am, and it only gets worse, as my wife tells me, because if you don't like what I'm doing, then just go away. I can do it on my own. I just want to be happy in my life. I mean, I noticed that your life can be over within one split second. That was in the accident. So live your life like it's the last day of your life. And I don't mean go into alcohol, drugs, cigarettes or whatever, because remember and believe me, I know what cigarettes and drugs and alcohol is. It's one of my specialties before my accident, to be honest. But let's not go that way. Now that I'm not drinking anymore, I'm not smoking anymore, and I live a more conscious life. I notice the people around me, I know the situations around me, I know the things people do, and yes, it changed me, but that's also a good thing, I guess. I hope so, on the long run. And the next thing I wish I had known before they cut off my leg is the problem of mobility. For instance, I cannot go anywhere without somebody's help. And as you could have seen in one of my previous videos, I have almost everything that you can have as aiding equipment before you have your prosthetic leg. But still, I'm completely dependent on others. In the house, there's always somebody who has to take my wheelchair up and down the stairs. When I go up and down the stairs myself, there's always somebody with me, because of course with the bad balance that I have, there's a big chance I fall down the stairs myself, and well, that's not something we want. Now, do we? No, we don't. When we go away, I always need somebody with me to take my scooter or my wheelchair out of the trunk or to get me into my iWalk. I have not been anywhere by myself since the accident, and for somebody who loves his freedom and independency that much, that's really hard. And of course I hope this will all change as soon as I have my prosthetic leg, but I don't know, but God knows I pray for it every day. So yes, I'm grateful for everything that everybody is doing for me, and I wouldn't want to have it otherwise. And as soon as I want to go somewhere, somebody's always ready to go with me. But believe me, everybody in my casa would love it, would like it to be that I would be more self-independent. And again, in line with the previous one, I can't do anything alone anymore. And of course everything's getting better, and especially when I have my prosthetic leg, it will be much better. But for instance, I love to cook before the accident, and well, I still would like to cook, but I can't stand on my iWalk that long to make a perfect dinner. And when I'm in my wheelchair, there are a lot of things I can't reach. I know, again, it's not world threatening, but it's something, well, I can't do it alone anymore. I need somebody to cook with me, or up to now I haven't cooked at all, to be honest. As you have seen in another video, getting dressed, going to the bathroom, I need somebody with me. When I go to bed, everything I do, I can't do anything by myself. Another thing I found out is that you have to think about everything. Did you like the moment before that when I was thinking? I have to think about everything, and I mean literally everything. Changing the way you sit in front of the TV, think about it. If you want to go to the bathroom, think about it. Hitting the shower, think about it. Wiping your tushy, think about it. Getting into the car, think about it. Getting out of the car, think about it. Hugging my wife, think about it. Kissing my children goodnight, think about it. There's nothing in your life you can do anymore without thinking about it. That is one of the reasons why everything takes 3 times longer than it used to be. And that's probably also the reason why when I go to bed, mentally I'm really tired. I mean, that I'm physically tired, I completely understand. I mean, I have no leg and have to learn physically everything all over again. But that it would be such a big influence on my mental state, that was a surprise for me. And then, last but not least, the social consequences. Oh my, those are major. And just remember that we're just getting out of a social lockdown. Everywhere I go with my scooter or my wheelchair, I get stared at. And not always the same stare. Oh no. You have the kind of stare where people check me out if I really need my wheelchair or scooter. These stares are mostly done by women and elderly. Then you have the pity stare. People stare at me and feel so pity for me. And then last but not least, you have the stare where people haven't seen me a while and they see me for the first time again and they don't know what to say. So yeah, you get stared at a lot. Well, there are a lot of more stares, but these were just the basic ones. Then there's another thing. As a disabled person, you're not allowed to have fun. For instance, I love to go to a terrace or to a restaurant, and when I do that, I like to go with people who know how to have fun, because that makes my life a lot more happy. And a small example, I was with a couple of friends in a restaurant once, and a couple of tables further there was a woman who was very busy with our table. And when we left, she had the urge of making a comment that I was too happy for a man who was disabled. And well, yeah, babe, I'm sorry I don't fit your social profile for that. Won't happen again. Sorry. And let us not forget the bartenders, the store personnel, the just bystander who, when I say something, give an answer to the one who's with me. That's funny because I just remember they cut off my leg and they did not cut out a little bit of my brain too. So that's funny. The largest social change was that I changed from a heterosexual middle-aged white man to a disabled heterosexual middle-aged white man. That changed me from the root of all evil in this world to a minority. And well, it's not something I fancy. I don't like this position at all. Despite at home we have a lot of practical jokes about it. But when losing my leg, I went from the root of all evil to a minority. I mean, I am still me. I'm still the man I was before I became a low-knee amputee. But now I have an extra feature. I can tell you things you didn't know and probably didn't want to know, but I can tell you things you didn't know. And this is mostly done, to be honest, by the political correct people, of which I'm not one. And now that I noticed how they cooperate with people who are a minority, I definitely will never be one of them. But and I know a lot of people mean well too, because of my direct surroundings. A lot of people are willing to take over the job at hand from me as well. But please, let me just do my own things. And I know at this moment I'm a little bit slower than the average person, and I was before I became a below-knee amputee. But I do it with just as much fun, only with an extra scar on my soul. And this brings us to the end of this video. To sum it all up, the most important thing is acceptance. Accept the situation, the new situation you're in now. And I wish somebody would have told me before that you have a lot of things you need to accept. Like I told a good acquaintance of mine, when I was in the hospital, he was taken to another hospital due to the fact that he had cancer. And he was complaining about everything, and he was mad at everybody and everything that happened as soon as he was brought into the hospital. I said to him, my dear friend, remember 3 things and take them from a hospital veteran now. And number 1, nobody is against you. People in the hospital are just doing their work and you're part of it. So nobody in the hospital is working against you or for you. It's just you're part of the job. Second, accept the situation you are in now. I mean, when I was in the hospital, well, let's put it this way. If I had a dime for every time the hospital told me I could go home, and at the end of the day I had to stay in the hospital, I would be a very, very rich man. For instance, and I think maybe we even had the best Easter ever, the hospital told me I would be at home with Easter in 2019. And I was packed, I was ready to go. And then at 6 p.m. on Good Friday, they came to me, you're not going home, you're staying here. I mean, that was hard. It hurt me, but me and my family, we accepted the new situation. And like I stated just now, maybe we had the best Easter ever. And third of all, I'm Dutchman, so hey, this is actually my number 1. You're in the biggest medicine cabinet in town. And I don't want to promote medication abuse, but the doctors and the nurses know exactly what they're doing. So when they prescribe you a medication, use it, a medicine. Don't turn it down. I had to take a lot of painkillers, and believe me, it made my life much easier. And I hope you like this video. If you have any suggestions for a new video, or you want to share with me which part of this video you like most, please write them in the comment box below. Then, of course, you like this video, hit the subscribe button and ting-a-ling-a-ling, put on that notification bell. And if there's anything I can help you with, just write me a direct message and I will get back to you always. Now have a nice day and catch you later. Bye bye.